Hello. So, hope everyone's doing well today, night, whatever it is. I'll be talking to you guys today about the Bard class with some useful information from character creation, subclass, and level up choices to just kind of overall gameplay. So let's kind of dive in here. I've loaded up my Bard, who just is named Bard for lack of a better term. Um, Kind of an overview of this class. So Bards are, for lack of a better term, to me more of a support class. These are the ones that are going to be using um, their abilities to inspire people to do better on their roles, or like give you advantage or just bonuses to just overall just everything you're doing via their inspiration abilities. Charisma is their primary attribute for spells, and they're usually the face of your party because of that. Um, or they may also be the ones you may want them to be doing more of the deception and intimidation, persuasion, basically charisma based conversation roles, just because they're going to have the most bonuses. It's very similar to if you wanted to pick a lock, you're probably going to want the rogue over the barbarian doing it, unless you want them to just smash the door open. In addition to this, the bard is proficient in dexterity and charisma saving throws. So, with being proficient in the dex saves, you'll at least be able to hold your own against a lot of spells and traps by being able to roll twice and take the highest. Their hit die is a D8, and they can use simple weapons, martial weapon, or simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords, and light armor out of the box. So you're not going to be sitting here as a bard with like medium armor or even full plate armor. You can via I'll talk about this in a later video for feats. You could take a feat that would allow you to be proficient in medium armor so you could do it and go forward. Or you might have there's another feat that lets you cast spells while in armor. So that could be useful later on down the road. But for the most part, like from a weapon perspective, I'd say a rapier or a crossbow is probably a good idea, just because you're gonna have that a higher dexterity score. And going on into races and attributes and skills, quite honestly, like that's one I've said it before. Is like that's one of the nice things about this game is that you can really um, be any race you want. But like I feel like I feel like I'm leaning more towards like a gnome and half elf and halflings just because of the advantages you get on a lot of different saving throws for things. So like if you were going to make a bard, I'd almost recommend a gnome first, just because of that advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. Half elf or an elf because you get advantage against being charmed and you can't be put to sleep. And based on your subclasses, you can get a free cantrip that you may not have access to as part of the bard spell list. Humans are always good. I rolled with a human on this on my bard character, and then halflings are probably another good check, um, good choice. So moving into the level itself, at level 1 you get, is it going to show me my bardic inspiration? No, it's not. Let me back out of this. At level 1 you get bardic inspiration, which is the ability to inspire an ally and add a d6 to their next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. You can use this 3 times a day, and the number of dice and the charges increases at levels 5, 8, and 10. In addition to it, once you hit level 5, you can recharge or regain those during a short rest instead of a long rest. Um, Let me go back into level up here. And also at level 1, you start out with you get 2 cantrips and 2 level 1 spell slots. So you're kind of limited with the amount of spells you can do at the beginning of this, but as we go through these levels, you get more slots and then you also start getting access to higher level spells. At level 2, you gain what's called Song of Rest, where your party gains the effect of a short rest. Basically, you get a free short rest out of all of this. You also get access to something called Jack of all trades, which is a passive ability that is just always available, where it adds half your proficiency bonus to your skills that you're not already proficient in. So let's say your proficiency bonus at level 3, I believe, is a +2. You would get a +1 to every skill that you're not already proficient in, which would be a nice little addition on top of everything else. And also at level 2, you get an additional level 1 spell slot. At level 3, where'd it go? Do do do. At level 3, you get what's called expertise, where you can chew. No, you don't. Never mind. Never mind. I crisscrossed my notes. But at level 3, you get to pick your subclass. And as part of the subclass, you get to choose from currently what's in the game: College of Lore, College of Valor, and College of Swords. A College of Lore, you'll get, you'll get access to, um, you get additional proficiencies for things, but then you also get combat inspiration. Um, not combat inspiration. You get cutting words. Sorry, that you basically you can target um, someone and they will receive a penalty of a D6 to their attack rolls, ability checks, or damage dealt until the next turn. But then you also become proficient in Arcana, Intimidation, and Sleight of Hand. At level 5 of this college, your cutting words ability here that I spoke of, where you can um, you get that, we do that negative to someone rather than being a D8 or D6, it's a D8. At level 6, you'll be able to choose from about 30 different spells that are level 3 or lower. Um, the list of spells it's a lot to go through. I would recommend, like, however your party needs you. Like, if you need more support, go for support. If you need more attack or defense or healing, go for that. Whatever your party really needs. And then at level 10, that cutting words now becomes using a D10 instead of a D6 or D8. College of Valor, which is what I started talking about by mistake, um, you get combat inspiration, where you have the ability to inspire an ally by adding a d6 to their next attack roll, ability check, saving throw, weapon damage, or AC, and this lasts until your next long rest. Um, once, once you hit level 5, that becomes a d8. At level 6, you'll get an extra attack, meaning that you can attack twice during your attack action. And then at level 10, the combat inspiration becomes a D10 instead of a D8. So College of Valor is really like you want to be able to inspire your allies to either do you want to be able to inspire your allies to do more stuff, more damage and things on top of what you can already do with your inspiration, but you also get an extra attack. So College of Valor is really if you want to be more of an aggressive, a fighter style bard. College of Swords, this is probably the pinnacle of being that fighter style kind of bard. Um, you at level 3 you can pick a fighting style where dueling adds 2 to the damage dealt if you're using just a one-handed melee weapon. So if you're running around with that single rapier, you'll be able to do 2 extra damage with every attack. Or if you wanted to be dual wielding, you want to go the dual wielder fight or style with this. Um, with two weapon fighting, you'll be able to add your ability modifier to the attack damage. And what that means is that you'd be able to add your dexterity bonus to your attack. So if you're going down this route, you would most likely, if you wanted to go dual wielding, the best advice I could give with this is using the taking two weapon fighting at level 3. And then at level 4, when we get into feats, there's a specific feat that really is beneficial for two weapon fighting that would go along with this so that you can wield 2 finesse weapons. So you could run around with 2 rapiers and running around doing um, 2d8 damage. Basically, you'd attack twice because of what happens here at level 6 as part of College of Swords. You get an extra attack. So you'd be able to attack with your one rapier, attack with the other rapier as a bonus action here, um, as your offhand, and kind of go from there. So basically, you could equivalently come out with 3 attacks, I guess is where I'm going with my rambles here. What you also get as part of this is you get different flourishes. So you get a melee version of the flourish and a ranged version of it. Slashing flourish lets you attack up to 2 enemies at once. So if you have, as long as they're like right next to each other, you'd be able to attack both as part of um, one action. Um, you have it's called defensive flourish, and defensive flourish basically it lets you increase your armor class by 4 as long as you hit something. So if you're playing that defensive version of this with like taking the fighting style of dueling or anything really, as long as you hit, you're going to get a +4 to your AC. So as long as you have some high dexterity, you've picked either one of those attack fighting styles, and with this, as long as you hit, your AC will jump from being a 16 to a 10, and then that lasts for one turn. So like now you're gonna have, or 16 to 20, sorry. So like for the next turn, you're gonna have 20 AC and be hard to hit. So as long as you keep hitting, your AC will at least always jump up, and you'll be harder to hit, which will be good for if you're concentrating on a spell, for example, because there are spells that require concentration, which means as long as you don't take damage, you still concentrate. So having that ability to have that higher AC means you're going to be harder to hit. Mobile flourish. This basically allows you to push the target back after you've done an attack on them. So let's say you hit somebody with your rapier, they get pushed back 6 meters, and then you can teleport to the target. Like you can teleport closer to them and what have you. So you get access to all of these, not just one of them. So it's a lot of versatility as part of this. That's why you only really gain an extra attack as part of the College of Swords. So if you want to have that ability to use any of these additional actions, College of Swords would probably be a good choice, especially if you're trying to be more aggressive. College of Valor, between the two of these, to me, I think is the better one, just because you still get that extra attack, but you you can still inspire your teammates. And College of Lore is really like you want the ability to really drop the defense of the people you're fighting against, or your allies are fighting against, I should say. At level 4 overall as a bard, that's when you get access to a feat or an attribute increase. But in addition, now you can start casting. Well, you get level 4 or level 1 and 2 spells, but you get to now cast 4 level 1s and 3 level 2 spell slots. At level 5, you get what's called Font of Inspiration, where you can regain all of your bardic inspiration after a long or short rest. and you also get improved Bardic Inspiration, where now your Bardic Inspiration is a D8 and you have 4 charges instead of 3. You also at level 5, it's a big level for you because now you get access to level 3 spell slots. You get 2 of them. At level 6, you get access to the Counter Charm spell, uh, or Counter Charm, where you and your allies can now have advantage on saving throws for being charmed or frightened. It's not the Counter Charm spell. I misspoke. But then you also get another level 3 spell slot. At level 7, nothing big other than you get access now to a level 4 spell. You have one level 4 spell slot. At level 8, you get to gain a feat or an attribute increase, and your Bardic Inspiration charges increase to 5 instead of 4, and then you get another level 4 spell slot. At level 9, you get access to your level 5 spell slots. You get one of them. At level 10, that Bardic Inspiration, like I had mentioned, upgrades to a D10, and you get access to the Expertise update here to where you're able to get proficiency in some skills. You also get access to this Magic Secrets to where you'll be able to choose from almost 40 spells and add those to your list of spells. And then you get 2 level 5 spell slots instead of 1. At level 11, you gain access to level 6 spells. And then at level 12, you get another feat or attribute increase in addition to another level 6 spell slot. So the biggest thing with this is it's like every 2 levels you gain another spell slot, roughly starting at level 5. So like at level 5, 7, 9, and 11, you access some of the next level of spell slots and the spells associated to them. There's a slew of spells that you get access to. Um, like if I were to go through here, I'm gonna take Cloud of Daggers. Cloud of Daggers has been a very good spell. It does a good amount of damage and it lasts for a while. Um, so I'm gonna take that as part of my level up here. Let's see here. Yeah, so now I'm proficient in. What happened to it? I got proficient in some additional portions here. So really that's it as a bard is you just keep getting access to higher level spells the more you level up. And in addition, once you hit basically hitting level 3 is probably like your pinnacleness, other than as you level up more you'll get more spell slots. Um, as you level up more as well, depending on what subclass you picked, you get your bonuses as you go through with this. So your bards are really like you can use them from range, you can get up close, they can do some damage. They're not, particularly useless in regards to that. Um, Charisma is one of their higher stats that you'd want to have, followed by probably Dexterity and Constitution. Strength, not really, is more like the dump stat, and Intelligence and Wisdom are as you have points to drop in them, it wouldn't be a bad idea either. From a multi-class perspective, depending on your subclass, if you choose College of Swords, perhaps like a fighter or a ranger would be a good multi-class. Ranger, if you're being more of a distance attack, mostly as well too, you get access to things like um, Hunter's Mark. You can make some difficult terrain is no longer difficult to you. A warlock or sorcerer would maybe be a good bonus as well, just because as a sorcerer, a sorcerer and warlock, their spells are all charisma based. So by jumping into the sorcerer side, you'd be able to get access to a decent amount, of more damaging spells. And then based on like the subclass of Warlock, you could increase some of your melee fighting skills depending on what subclass you picked. Um, Overall, I mean, there's not a lot more I can say about the Bard. I know it almost feels like I rushed through them, but like there's not really too much in regards to difficulty I feel as a Bard. Like a Bard is one of those classes where you're going to have high charisma and you're going to have some of these stats high so that you can go through and be the one who's doing the deceptioning or persuasion of the party, and you're also there to like support people, but also you're not useless when it comes to damage. You can attack from a distance, or you can get right up there with the barbarian if whatnot if you wanted to. Wouldn't recommend it, but you could. If there's anything I may have missed or you'd like to add from your own experiences of playing as a bard, feel free to let me know in the chat or in the comments below. As always, like, you know, I enjoy making these things, and hopefully these guides are helpful to you as well. Um, Look out soon. I'll be having a video here shortly about feats, and then I'll continue going through to talking about like the cleric, druid, and fighter, and then some of the other classes as well as I go through things here. As always, happy gaming.